Getting a great drum sound is a demanding task. Studio engineers typically put a lot of time and effort into creating a perfectly polished drum sound. But sometimes it's not sophistication you want, but the pure, raw energy of hard-rocking drums. Welcome back to the Neumann Home Studio Academy. In this tutorial series, we're looking at how to record drums. In our first episode, we had a close look at the Glyn Johns technique, recording drums with only 3 microphones. In this episode, we'd like to go for an even simpler approach, recording drums with only 1 microphone. Or, if you prefer, 1 stereo pair of microphones. The question is, where exactly do you place the microphones? In order to find the optimal microphone position, it's always a good idea to listen to the instrument with your own ears. Try to find a place where the sound is well balanced. That's where you set up your microphone. And because we want you to be able to listen in with your own ears, we brought our friend Fritz. The Neumann KU100, nicknamed Fritz, is a dummy head stereo microphone that produces a stunningly realistic 3D sound image when you listen on headphones. So, put on your headphones and you'll be here right with us in our room while I carry you Fritz around to look for an optimal microphone position. Yeah, I think this will do the trick. We're close enough for a good direct sound without too much room ambience. And the balance is good. The balance between the toms and the cymbals and everything. So, let's put a microphone at this position. And for this, let's use the TLM 102. The TLM 102 is Neumann's most affordable large diaphragm studio microphone. Although it looks small, it features a full-size condenser capsule for a balanced sound image with a powerful bass response and a silky top end. And also, the TLM 102 handles extreme sound pressure levels without unwanted distortion, which is exactly what you want when you're recording drums. So, let's hear it. What do you think? Sounds good, right? The balance is good, and the sound? Well, the sound may not be the pristine, finely tuned sound you may be used to working with sound libraries, but that's exactly the point. You see, a real drum kit and a real drummer, by the way, this is a real drummer, a real drum kit in a real room sounds raw. It sounds unique. And in a world with everybody having access to the same sound libraries, your individual sound signature has become more important than ever. Still, some stereo width may be a good idea. A simple way to capture sound in stereo is the so-called XY setup, with 2 directional microphones mounted at an angle with the capsules as close to each other as possible to avoid phase differences. Yeah, small diaphragm microphones are normally chosen for this job because they have a more uniform pickup pattern. Well, at least if you're using good small diaphragm microphones. That's why we're using these.
The Neumann KM184 is a state-of-the-art small diaphragm condenser microphone at an affordable price. It features a tight cardioid pattern independent of frequency to achieve a natural sound and an even stereo image.
And as you can see, we mounted these microphones on a stereo bar at an angle of 90 degrees, which is a good starting point for an XY setup. The capsules of the microphones are as close to each other as possible.
The XY technique produces a very natural stereo image. Since the two capsules are almost in the same spot, mono compatibility is excellent.
Okay, let's bring in a stereo pair of small diaphragm microphones. And let's place them right above the already existing mono setup. Let's compare. Did you notice how much wider the sound is? There you go. Stereo. Now there's another microphone position we could choose, and we don't have to spend a lot of time finding it, because let's try to capture the drum set from the drummer's perspective.
Experienced drummers adjust their playing according to what they hear. So you will usually get a good balance between the various parts of the drum set from the drummer's perspective. However, it may be a challenge to set up the microphones close to the drummer's head without getting in the way.
Yeah, you want to make sure the drummer's body is not in the way of the microphones. And that's why it's a good idea to set the microphones, to set them up right above the drummer's head. And since we want the snare drum to be in the stereo center, make sure the middle of the XY setup, right here, this is the middle. Make sure the middle of the XY setup is pointing directly at the snare drum. Okay, that should be okay. By the way, we flipped the left and the right channel, so the stereo image matches the audience perspective. Let's hear it. Okay, right. The balance is good, the sound is good. So as you can see, it's not too hard to get a decent drum sound with only one microphone or one stereo pair of microphones. The sound may not be the polished sound that you hear in modern days pop music, but it's got a lot of raw energy. It's unique. It is your sound. Okay, in the outro, let's compare all three microphone setups that we talked about. And in our next episode, we'd like to show you a more versatile and a more flexible approach using a multi-microphone setup. Until then, thanks for watching, enjoy recording, and we'll see you soon at the Neumann Home Studio Academy.